Hey, I'm James from Smoking Dad BBQ, and welcome to my Super Bowl snack series. Today, we're making St. Louis ribs. So if you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to catch my future videos.
Alright, we're going to start off. Got a two-pack here from Costco of St. Louis cut ribs. They're already cut St. Louis style, which means we've trimmed off the flap. We're going to see if there's any extra trimming, remove the membrane, season them up, throw them in the fridge for a few hours to let the seasoning penetrate everything, and then we're going to fire up the Kamado Joe and cook them. Let's get started. Okay, so now that we've got the membrane removed, we're just going to go ahead and remove any silver skin or excess fat on top. These are well marbled and throughout, and so this extra little fat is just going to stop our seasoning from penetrating the meat. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim these up. Be back in a second. Alright, welcome back. We've got our St. Louis ribs all trimmed up, ready to go. So now we're going to start with seasoning. So let me walk you through the process that I like to do. So first, I'd like to start with a layer of Diamond Kosher crystal salt and give this as many hours in the fridge as I can. If I had 24 hours ahead of time, I would do that. Since I don't, we're just going to go ahead and start with a layer of salt, and then we'll add some of our other seasonings. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and add a layer of granulated garlic. And then we're going to follow that with some onion. By now you may be wondering why I'm not using any sort of binder like mustard or hot sauce. This is something that I would absolutely do if these had sat overnight and the skin dried out. You need a bit of a binder to help your rub stick. Since we're going and adding the salt this close to when we're going to cook, about 2-3 hours, the salt will draw out some moisture, the meat will sweat, and that'll help our rub stick, so we don't need it. But if we were doing it the other way around, my favorite binder is to use a hot sauce. Frank's Buffalo we use a lot, Truff hot sauce, whatever you have adds a nice layer. If you don't have any of that, just regular yellow mustard or olive oil will do great. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our big time rub. Just got this the other day, really loved it on chicken. I'm going to see how it is on ribs. It has a sweet savory taste. And then we're going to add a layer of smoked paprika on top. Okay, so now we're going to flip the ribs, do the same thing on the other side. I always like to start with the bone side up, so the presentation side we do last, and there's less chance of any rub getting scraped off or little marks on it that'll make it look anything less than perfect. So let's do that. Alright, these look great. They're seasoned up, ready to go. I'm going to throw them in the fridge for a few hours, let the salt start to penetrate the meat, and I'll be back in a few hours when we're ready to fire up the Kamado Joe.
Alright, we got the Kamado Joe all fired up. We're ready to go and get our St. Louis ribs on. We're going to let them roll and smoke for about 2 hours at 250 degrees. Then we're going to wrap them and give 1 more hour before we set them up for sauce. So let's throw them on. Today I'm using the slow roller. I love the slow roller for ribs because we get that nice end-to-end indirect coverage without any hot spots burning the ends of our ribs. So I'm going to go ahead and place them on. And we're ready to go. See you in 2 hours. Alright, it's been about half an hour since we lit the Kamado Joe Classic. Let's go take a look, see how our St. Louis ribs are doing, and if we need to add any spray. We're still cruising along about 250 degrees. This is a little bit earlier than I would normally check them, but since we're going to lose our daylight really quick, I just want to be able to point a few things out. Alright, there we go. So again, today we're using the slow roller, so we get that nice even edge to edge indirect heat, and we're smoking with cherry wood. So I like to put a little bit of cherry wood underneath the Kamado Joe big block, light it up, and I threw 1 chunk on top. So right now everything looks good. Doesn't look like we have anything drying out, so we'll be back in a little bit when it's time to spritz them. I'm just gonna let those sit a little bit longer in their smoke bath. Alright, so it's been about 45 minutes. Let's check out our ribs, see how we're doing. Those are looking good. I think I'm gonna give them a spray now, so I'm just gonna spray with water today, but you can use apple cider vinegar, apple juice, or any combination thereof. We just want to give these a nice coat. This will help the smoke continue to bind to our ribs so we get a nice smoky flavor. as well as preventing any really dry spots. So we'll do this again about another 30 or 45 minutes, and then we'll be getting close to time for wrapping. Alright, let's lock this up. Be back in a bit. Alright, we're about the 2-hour mark. It's time to wrap our ribs. Let's just take a look, see how we're doing. Oh, those look good. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the camera back on the tripod, and we'll get out some foil, some mayonnaise, some apple cider vinegar, and a little bit more of our barbecue rub, and we'll wrap these up for the last hour. Alright, be right back.
Alright, just so I don't have my back to you when I'm talking, really quick overview of what we're going to do again. We're going to throw down a little bit more of our rub. We're going to put the ribs on bone side up, hit the back side with a little bit more rub and mayo, start to make a bit of a foil pouch, pour in some apple juice. You're going to come along for the ride fast forward, but let me show you what it looks like. Alright, so as you saw, I used 2 layers of tin foil just to help make sure none of the bones poke out. We're going to let those ride along for about another hour or so, and then we're going to sauce them up and we're ready to eat. Alright, our ribs have been smoking for 2 hours, in the foil for another hour. Time to take them out, put on some sauce, and get ready to eat.
Alright guys, our St. Louis side ribs are done. Let me show you what they look like. They've been tacking up in their sauce for the last 10-15 minutes, ready to take them inside and slice them up. So again, this was 2 hours of smoke, 1 hour in foil. And let me just see if I have something here I can show you the bend. So these are just tender as all can be and are still holding together. And I can't wait to eat them. So I hope you appreciated today's video. If you did, please hit that like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.